Expressed in the following sponsored program are not necessarily those of KSCO Radio, its staff, management, or advertisers. If something is said with which you disagree, please call us during the program in order to help us balance comment.
Good evening and welcome to Off the Lip, the show about surfing and skateboarding. If you'd like to join the show tonight, give us a call at 831-479-1080. That's 831-479-1080. And now, here are your hosts for tonight's program, Neil Pearlberg and Terry Campion.
Good evening and welcome to the 137th edition of the Off the Lip radio show, broadcasting from Santa Cruz, California. I'm here tonight with my co-host, my dear friend, and yes, the champion.
I knew that you were going to say that.
You did.
I just was thinking.
Mr. Terry Campion is in the house tonight. And before we start, this portion of the show is brought to you by Freeline Surf Shop. I'd like to get an ad from Freeline Surf Shop, but the Mel's are too busy being in Hawaii.
Come on, John.
Yeah, no, but you know what we're doing right now? We are having a Halloween window display contest.
What about the poker night?
That's coming up. John's got to get back from Hawaii. But right now,
yes,
anybody listening should come by and judge the windows because Freeline has a Halloween window, and the boardroom has a Halloween window,
right? And
we're in competition who has the best Halloween window.
How you looking?
Really good.
They haven't done anything yet.
No, they're working on it. Yeah. No, they're working on it. But so we look really good.
You're like, what's the prize?
I don't know. We haven't figured that out yet.
Okay, figure it out. Yeah. Our guest tonight. I got to read this, TC. I sat down and wrote this tonight.
You did?
Listen, what do you think?
You did homework?
I can't do it, but I got some help.
All right, nice job.
Our guest tonight is none other than Michel Junod, who is more than a surfing icon. He is a bold, passionate, salt-breathing, foam sculpting, Santa Cruz-based legend. He, one of the last surfer shapers, still actively handcrafting boards and surfing them nearly every day, born in 1948. He rode his first wave at Santa Monica Pier in May 1962, and he has spent every minute since then enjoying the fruits of surfing as both a shaper and surfer.
Well done.
What do you think about? What do you think about that, Michelle?
No, not every moment, but
quite a bit,
of them.
Right?
A lot of moments.
Not every moment.
Yeah.
Yes, a lot of them.
I do other things with my life as I surf and shape.
We'll get into that for sure.
We're going to get into that.
Yeah.
But our guest tonight is Michel Junod. And on the right side of him is Paul. I'm just going to call him Fig. His last name's like a pain in the neck.
Does the English tongue roll that way?
No, Fig's in the house from Surf City Sandwich. He's in the house and he's here tonight because he was the best man at Michel's wedding.
No, I was the best man at his wedding.
Oh, you were the best man at his wedding?
Correct. I was married before I knew him.
That was close.
That
was close. Michelle, it's nice to see you.
Good seeing you.
TC, better to see you too, my friend. Good to see you back in the chair.
Thank you very much.
Michelle, what are your earliest memories of your mom taking you to the beach?
Well, I remember my mom taking me to the beach, probably at Venice Beach. I must have been 6 or 7 years old. And similarly, at the same time, I took swim lessons from a gal who was an Olympic champion. I can't remember the name anymore, somewhere in West LA. But my mom prepped me up pretty good for the beach and the whole scene and learned to body surf. And then 62, I started surfing.
And your first board was?
First board was a 710 Jacobs, custom made, 20 inches wide, because I was so small I couldn't get my arm around a big board. So if I had that board today, it would be worth so much money. It was a 3/4 inch redwood, a wood laminated D-fin with the glass around it, and Volan cloth. It was beautiful.
Sounds almost like a girl's board kind of thing, you know?
Yeah. There was only like 3 girls who surfed in all this West LA area, Santa Monica area then. I mean, crazy. It was that many. There was a few more.
But that's how rare a board like that would be, right?
It would be rare because it's a quick story. So I go to pick it up. It was $100, $4 tax. So I'd never had my arm around a board before, ever, because I couldn't put my arm around a big board. So I grab it, and I go out of the shop at 422 Pacific Coast Highway in Hermosa Beach, and I go bang, and I banged the tail of it into some standing boards. And I went, oh, I turned all red, and there was a couple of guys were there, and shop guys, and they started laughing really hard. Nothing happened because it was all double 10-ounce cloth. And I went out and stuck it in my parents' 58 Pontiac station wagon and drove home. Yeah, so it was a cool beginning.
That time in Venice was the amusement park around?
Yeah, Pacific Ocean Park. Hung out there as a kid, yep.
And was that still the surf spot right there?
I didn't surf that till shortboards, but I did surf there at the Pop Cove, which was, kind of underneath the pier type of thing. You've seen it in the Dogtown stuff. But I surfed there as quite a bit as a kid.
What was your first surf team experience?
My first surf team experience was through Surfboards by Challenger out of San Diego, Mission Beach. And I had met this guy along with my friend Barry Gordon at the first Surforama at the Santa Monica Civic Auditorium, and probably, maybe it was the second one, 1964 or 65. And my buddy buys a board from the guy. And I go, wow, that's a nice board. And so ended up kind of getting on the guy's team. I got a real nice board. And so that was my first surf team experience, and that started my whole shaping lifestyle in that he taught me to build boards, but he didn't teach me in San Diego. He moved his whole operation to the East Coast in 1965.
Right. And you ended up in the East Coast, correct?
I went to the East Coast for 3 summers.
That was with Carl Tinker West?
Yep, that's it. And he's the guy that taught me to shape, and he's a great guy, great craftsman, really taught me the way to build boards from the bottom up, and mentored me. He
must have been a heck of a... I mean, for you to leave L.A. and the beautiful weather to go back to New Jersey...
But it was only 3 months in the summer.
Okay, so you went back there for the summer?
Yeah, I was still in school. I was 17 years old. So I only went 3 summers in a row, and, it was totally fun. I remember...
Where were you in New Jersey?
Area of Belmar, Asbury Park, that whole thing.
So my brother lives.
Oh, really?
Manasquan.
Oh, yeah, just south of there.
Yeah, it's a great little surf spot.
There's good waves there.
Yeah,
the first year was fantastic, hurricane surf, everything. Second year, okay. Last year, it was like 1 foot.
Right.
2 foot.
Was there a good surf scene in New Jersey during that time?
Just beginning, just the early stages of it. I mean, there was a lot of surf shops, and it was hitting. It was crazy, but the surfing wasn't that great, and in other words, the surfers weren't as good as California surfers, but they caught on real quick.
We touched on that last week when you weren't here, TC. Mm-hmm. You were busy in Kauai.
Excuse me for loving Kauai.
I had to lie in the radio show telling everyone you're on the couch sick.
Thank you.
But the Duke Hanamoku, came to New Jersey when he came back from the Olympics in, I think, Sweden, came back through New York and did a surf exhibition in New Jersey.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so he was kind of the start of the little craze right there.
They have better surf than a lot of the coast. They have pretty steep beaches.
Right.
And the waves are more like, Huntington Beach than they are like Pismo Beach or Florida.
Right.
So they have pretty good waves.
Okay. We got a quick phone call, TC. Is this Lily? I'm not sure who this is. Who is this on the line here?
It's Willie Morris.
Willie Morris!
Oh, Willie, fan of the Off the Air Radio Show, Morris. Willie, how are you, buddy?
I'm really good, thank you. Congrats, TC.
On the championship?
Yeah, bud.
Thank you. I know I'm a 52-year-old champion.
Willie, please tell me you called up more and say congratulations to TC on his driving skills.
I called to just say how grateful I always to see Michel surf. He's like one of the stylish most surfers that I've ever bear witness to, and
thank
there's
you.
nobody like him. So,
thank you very much.
Yeah, there's that. They broke the mold when they made you as far as Style Masters goes. So just wanted to say big fan.
Thanks, Willie.
Thank you
Willie,
very
next
much.
time you're in town, you got to come back on the show.
Will do.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks for calling in. We appreciate it.
Okay, bye-bye.
See you. Bye-bye.
Hey, that's quite a compliment
Very cool.
from Willie Morris.
Willie
Yeah.
Morris calling in.
Dogs, Come on, Willie.
That's right.
Where's he living now?
He's in Camarillo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he's on the road working a bunch. But remember we had him on the show, and
Yeah,
he
he
had
was
like
great.
3/4 of a Surfer magazine, and everybody complained because he was on the cover, the back cover, the inside cover, the center
Every
strand.
cover. He was on everything. He was on People Magazine.
Yeah, Willie's
Playboy.
a great friend of our show.
Right.
Before we go to commercial, this portion of the show is brought to you by TC. Cove Water Paddle Surf is going to have their 6th annual board sale this coming weekend. Cove Water is the best stand-up paddleboarding shop in Santa Cruz, Monterey Bay area, and this weekend they are hosting their 6th annual board sale. Whether you're a beginner or an expert, they have the best brands and models to choose from, with 50 used SGPs for sale, as well as new boards discounted at year-end sale prices. The sale begins Saturday, October 24th from 9 to 6, Sunday 9 to 5. Get on down to Cove Water, 726 Water Street in Santa Cruz, or give them a call at 600-7230, or just visit them at covewatersgp.com. This is Neil and TC with the Off the Lip Radio Show, here tonight with our wonderful guest, great guest, Michel Junod. We'll see you back right after this short break. Don't go away.
Whole body cryotherapy is a full body exposure to sub-zero temperatures to decrease inflammation, increase cellular survival, decrease pain and muscle spasms, and promote overall health and wellness. It is not a medical procedure in the US, but a non-invasive option for people seeking faster recovery, more energy, relief from aches and pains, better health and sleep, even skin beautification, and weight loss. Widely used in training and wellness centers and spa-like settings throughout Europe, it's now here in Santa Cruz at Santa Cruz Cryotherapy, located at 1220 41st Avenue, Capitola. Book your appointment today at santacruzcryo.com or call us at 831-288-2882 and mention this KSCO ad and receive a 10% discount off all package deals. And your introductory session is just $35.
Hey, it's Julie from Toyota and Sign of Santa Cruz. I want to introduce you to our new slogan. Why drive over the hill when the big store is right next door? The all-new Toyota Santa Cruz. You have to come check out this dealership. It is amazing. 50,000 square feet of state-of-the-art service and sales. Over 500 new, used, and certified pre-owned cars and trucks. And our number one commitment is to save you time and money. And you know what else we're proud of? Our customer service. And that's why you guys keep coming back. We take care of our customers. So get down there, check out the dealership, buy a car or a truck, make me happy, and have a great day.
TC. This is the Off the Lip Radio Show right here on KSCO. Whether we ask you to listen and be heard, we're on Facebook.
Too much fun.
We're on Instagram. We're tweeting. We're on live stream right now on SantaCruzWaves.com. And the last commercial was brought to you by Santa Cruz Toyota by our lovely friend of the show, Miss Julie. Is it Miss or Mrs. Julie? I saw the big rock.
She has a rock?
I saw that.
Well, is it a banker rock?
Like
Sometimes
no,
bankers...
No, dude. This was the Rock of Gibraltar.
Because I know some banker girls who put fake rocks on to keep people away.
Dude, this thing was huge.
Huh. Julie.
I don't know what's going on.
If you're listening, Julie.
Call in. 831-479-1080. If you happen to know what's going on with Julie, what the heck is that? It looks like a Toyota Prius on her finger.
Whoa. So you're serious. She's got a big rock on
large rock. This portion of the show is brought to you by Sandala Surfboard Repair. Felix.
The one and only. Boy, did he get some good lightning photos. You see those?
Yeah. Michelle, so you got to say a couple of good words about Felix.
Felix is a good guy. Actually, I worked for him off and on for a week and a half at one point when I had no shaping to do.
Right.
That must have been 15 years ago.
Yeah. He's a great guy.
Great guy.
722-4060. If you want to get your board repaired, dinged, he'll fix it.
Buckled?
He'll
Buckled?
He'll ding it and
gashed.
fix it?
He'll ding it and fix it. He'll make sure he will make sure it's dinged. And it's waterlogged. And then he'll fix it.
He'll fix it pronto.
Very pronto.
Super pronto.
Okay, also, tonight we're going to give away for the first time. Where's Chris, the engineer?
We're giving away something?
We're going to give away a free sandwich.
For reals.
We're giving away food. Now we're giving away. First we were giving away coffee. Now we're giving away food.
Good.
We know.
Surf City Sandwich.
I'm so hungry right now.
Is giving away a $15 gift certificate to call the number. You know what? You can't even call right now because Chris is gone.
Well,
unbelievable. The KSCO is unbelievable.
Well,
you try to get an organized show.
Listen, this is what we gotta do.
Wait.
Well, the phone's already ringing. So I was gonna say first caller, but it's already ringing, so we can't do first caller.
You know what?
So,
hang on. Let me give a recommendation. The French dip.
Oh.
Okay. If you are gonna win this the sandwich, get the freaking French dip. Legendary.
I always say go for the potato chips and get a sandwich because they're both dynamite.
Really good.
Yeah.
Okay, Chris, I don't know where you're at, but hang on.
Well,
okay, call the number 4.
Perfect.
gets a free $15 gift certificate to Surf City Sandwich. Nice lid, TC.
Thank you. I got my new hat on.
Yeah. Get on TV.
There it is. And by the way, I'm just going to say, if you're listening and haven't been there yet, just go by and check the boards out. He has some amazing surfboards in there. The staff, he's done a great job with his hiring.
Yep.
It's clean, spotless, ice cold beer, and the sandwiches are delicious.
Okay,
So.
I'm going to give this person. The person left. Michelle.
Yep.
After New Jersey, where were you? Where did you came back to Southern California?
Yeah, I was living in Santa Monica. Where
Give us a timeline. When was that?
So that was 66 through 68, those 3 summers. Then in 69, I spent the summer in Honolulu with a really good friend I met in high school at Venice High School named Butch Yamashita. And we built boards under our apartment right across the street from Punahou School and surfed the South Shore, great waves all the time, uncrowded. It was what a lot of people don't understand.
1969 was the biggest south swell in history.
Oh, that was the winter swell.
Oh, was it the winter swell?
Yeah, the winter swell. The one hitting Rincon. I surfed that one too.
Uh-huh.
But people don't know, most people don't know, haven't lived through it. After longboarding went out and shortboarding came in, the population of surfing dropped about 80%. It was uncrowded almost everywhere because a lot of people who were longboarders was transitioning out of the Vietnam War. They were getting out of college and getting married, and the boards got so small, and if you didn't transition right away, you couldn't ride them.
Your first shortboard experience was kind of a fluke, correct?
It was.
And we're going to come. I got JD on the phone.
JD.
Is this the JD?
This is the JD.
Yeah, this is JD.
Hey now, buddy.
Willie Morris.
Hey now.
You know what? We have.
What's doing, Bucky? What's doing?
I'm just talking
Come
to
on
you.
out of there.
Just
I know you're
talking
in
to
there.
you, JD.
Come on out of there.
What's up, JD?
Come on out of there. Bar.
Where's Creature? He should call in.
JD, give us a few words about Michelle.
Michelle's a great person. I'm so stoked he moved here from Santa Monica or wherever he's from, and he's kind of been in my life ever since he was around. He's a little older. He remembers me from the Portola Surf Shop days when we used to make boards for Tuck Straits, West Cliff surfboards. You ought to get him down there.
I know, we're working on that.
Yeah, you can get old Straits down there. He'll talk everybody's ear off.
We'll never get one word in, JD, if we get him in here. You know that.
JD, you also
so this is a great guy. I spent a lot of time with him in Hawaii, Pipeline, and Kauai, just in Santa Cruz, just really close to him and his family.
Thanks, JD, for calling, buddy. We appreciate you giving us a call. You and Willie Morris makes our night. Thanks, bud.
Thanks, bud.
Yeah, okay, talk to you soon.
Yeah, that's great. JD's awesome.
Your first shortboard experience was kind of a fluke.
It was a fluke. I was surfing Middle M's in Baja on about a 9.6. It was actually a Challenger that was made by my friend Tinker. And I lost my board into the jetty, and it broke about 1/3 of the nose off. So I brought the board back home and just reshaped it, glassed it up, and started riding it. And this
how big was it when you reshaped it?
It probably was 7'10" or 8 foot. But I remember that it was so easy to do roller coasters. That was the big thing in the late longboard era, was to be able to go off the lip and do roller coasters on a big board. And it was so much easier to do that. And so that was kind of a transition. But I had ridden a shortboard actually before that. A guy named Bob English in San Diego shaped it for a friend of mine, Greg Jackson, who was a Jacob surf team guy. And we were all surfing Topanga Beach. Another story, my good friend from high school, his parents owned a house at Topanga Beach. And it was probably 8.2 or something, and we were all trading off on it, and it didn't catch on. I mean, like, it really was 4 to 6 months before shortboards came in. But I remember that we kind of looked at it like, what's this? But it was fun, you know.
I had to talk about that today. We were talking about a friend of mine, JR, and I were talking about autos today, and
classic.
how autos was where all the old boards ended up.
Yep.
And how that collection today would be incredible because nobody wanted those boards at the time.
He used to use them for rentals.
And I had a house on 36th Avenue before they put drainage in. It would flood every year. And our house came with about half a dozen logs in the backyard that whoever moved out didn't want to take them. Right. And we would put those all the way to the sidewalk so we didn't get our feet wet. we literally broke the fins off and made a walkway out of them.
Right.
And that's kind of an amazing thing about those boards. You look back, but like what you said, nobody wanted them. No one wanted to ride them.
Yeah. And what happened too, a quick story, Weber had so many of them when it transitioned from long to short. He had warehouses full of boards sending to the East Coast and everything. Couldn't sell them, so he cut them in half and took them to the dump.
No,
Can
really.
you imagine how much that would be worth?
$1 million worth of boards today
Yeah.
or something. Who knows? But hindsight's 2020.
Yeah.
But same thing happened in skateboarding too. When the skateboards went skinny, the generation that grew up skateboarding basically quit, and very few continued on because they didn't think they could ride a small board.
Right.
It's an interesting.
Summer of '69, you ended up in Honolulu.
Yep.
And tell us about how you ended up there. And
Well, again, my best friend at high school, Butch Yamashita, he had moved from Honolulu, from Hawaii, to Southern California. His mom and dad got a divorce, and the dad took the two sons, and she kept the daughters in Honolulu. So we all went to Venice High School together, and we became best surf buddies. And in that summer, we went over there together, and he was transitioning back to living in Honolulu. And we built boards underneath, kind of in the basement, an open basement of this apartment building right across from Punahou School, and surfed all the time, and just had a super
how was the
great
surf
time.
there back then?
Well, that summer it sure was good. We surfed this place called Big Rights on the concessions area right there, Alamona Park, and a perfect right and left. And I just remember day after day after day having 3 to 4 to 5 people out. And we didn't have leashes or anything, but we didn't lose our boards too much either. It's one thing about when we surfed before leashes, we just made an extra attempt all the time to never lose our boards. And I don't think we could do that anymore today. And if you took everybody's leash away, could you imagine what the chaos would be?
Yeah.
Anyways, but
That
it
would
was,
just be-
it was a super fun summer. Yeah, it was really cool.
And then in 1970, you when did you leave Honolulu and came back to the mainland?
Yeah, I came back
that
to the mainland.
1970?
Yeah, at the end of 1970.
Right.
Spent some time in Southern California working for Blue Cheer Surfboards, a small label out of Santa Monica. And Chuck came down with my other friend, Bill Hayton, and he says, "Hey, I moved up to Santa Cruz. There's a shaping job up there with the Overland brothers, Tom and Jim Overland. Why don't you come up and see how it is?" So I had a 55 Chevy. I threw my boards on the roof, jumped in my car, and didn't move for 4 years.
And we're talking Chuck Stralick.
Chuck Stralick.
Right,
yeah.
of course.
Yeah. And so he was the connection between the Overlands and me getting a job there. And I knew Jim from being a Weber team guy, and he had his own thing called California Surfboards for a while. He was a character. And so I got a job, and food was cheap, and the waves were plentiful. The leash had not been invented yet, and it was kind of a ghost town here. I was sold the second I got here.
You loved it?
Oh, I loved it. And I didn't know that south swells hit here.
Right.
You wouldn't know unless you moved here.
Don't tell anybody.
Now, see, we talked about the surf leash earlier, right?
Yeah, no, I mean,
You have one of them.
I do. Yeah, I actually have one of the first surf leashes. Chuck Stralick came and photographed it and documented it. Mike Goldman is he found it in his mom's garage. And Chuck, I don't know if you know, but Chuck's been doing research on the surf leash.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and a lot
That's
of it.
That's a Steve Russ.
Yes,
Steve Russ one.
Steve Russ. Yeah, and I have one. And it's amazing.
Surgical
and
tubing thing with the suction cup on the nose.
Yep.
And that's sadly how Jack lost his eye.
Yeah.
And I know Chuck's getting ready to really launch this research he's done, because it's going to be, I think, very interesting when he
Story of the
releases it.
leash.
Yes, the story of the surf leash.
Okay. Michelle, before we go any further, I just want to let the audience know you're listening to the Off the Lip Radio Show here on Tuesday night, 7 to 8 p.m. We are the world's only live surf and skate show right here in Santa Cruz on KSCO, where they do ask you to listen and be heard. Our guest tonight is the one and only Mr. Michel Junod, and very honored to have him in the show this evening. I'm sure he's going to have to come back and talk about more, because we're never going to get it all in. But Michel, who was your you grew up and spent now how many years now surfing and shaping? Over 50 years?
54 years surfing. It'll be 50 next summer.
Apart from your mom, who was your mentor?
I mean, as far as surfing goes?
Yeah.
Well,
And for surfing, do you have more than one mentor, one for surfing and one for shaping?
Yes. But I think how all kids were mentored as far as surfing goes then is there were obviously no surf schools. And so when you began to surf, it was your peer group, was your buddies, the people you surf with. And then each area in Southern California had their favorite surfer. So the Orange County guys pretty much had Phil Edwards, and the guys in my crew had Mickey Dora. And you can't lose with which guy you have.
Right.
And so those were kind of the, the 1 and 2 best surfers, in California at the time. And my favorite surfer, my 2 favorite surfers for style was Jackie Baxter, went to Venice High School, and Billy Hamilton. I mean, those guys were style masters and just such incredible surfers. And I don't know if Jackie's still surfing, but Billy still is.
Billy still is. Billy's been on the radio show a couple times just
I
recently.
see Billy when he comes through.
Yeah. Just
he's classic.
He's a classic human being, and want to give a shout out to Billy. I hope he's listening.
Sure.
Because we mention Billy's name, all you do is smile.
Oh, he's the
right?
Yeah, he's great.
The king of kissing.
Yeah. We won't go any further. Did you get a chance to see Mickey Dora surf?
Oh yeah, I saw Mickey.
How was that? I mean, what put him? When we see you surf, or at least when I see you surf, I can see, you out at second peak or first peak, 100 yards away, and I just know it's you. I know it's Michel Junod surfing.
Yeah, Dora had that kind of style. You could tell it.
You could tell that with him.
And I didn't surf with him until shortboards. So a quick story.
Doesn't have to be quick. We love your stories.
Yeah, the POP, Pacific Ocean Park Pier, which was the border between Venice and Santa Monica amusement park, and it was shaped like a step ladder. So what happened is the sand would fill in along that step ladder thing, breaking towards the shore, but a perfect right. And he was one of the guys that used to come there, and he'd always come by himself. He's a lone surfer, and he was, out of his environment, out of Malibu, he was a lot more mellow.
Right.
And Venice was known as kind of the the bad boy scene, and it was more of a just a different environment than Malibu, completely opposite. And so he used to show up there, and he'd always show up with like some kind of a sports coat on. I remember this one time I looked down, and he had 2 different color shoes on, split down the middle, 4 different colors. And so he would come and check it out and just kind of say a few things. Then he'd come out surfing, and so he. It was fun surfing with him because he just blended in and took waves and stuff. And another time, it was 78, I was in France and he was there. And I tried to stay as far away from him as possible because he was always getting in trouble, if you've read his history. And he was famous for handing the evidence off to you as he left out the back door. and you're just holding the bag. I mean, that's just the kind of guy he was.
Right.
So he wasn't the best guy to always hang around with.
Okay, cool. You're listening to the Off the Lip Radio Show. Before we go to commercial, this portion of the show is brought to you by People's Coffee in Live Oak. Serving down, hands down, the best coffee in town, is giving away free coffee on the Off the Lip Radio Show for the next few weeks. Everyone loves free coffee and free sandwiches. The fourth caller to dial 479-1080 gets a gift certificate for $20 worth of free coffee from People's Coffee in Live Oak. This is Neil and TC here tonight with Michel Junod. Also, Fig is in the house. We're going to talk about the Boots sandwich when we come back.
Boots burrito.
The Boots burrito. We'll be right back after a very short break. Don't go away.
This is Brother Timmy.
And Cleo from Cleo's Corner at Pono Hawaiian Grill.
Featuring wraps, teriyaki bowls, plate lunches, amazing and creative salads, vegetarian and gluten-free options, and over 20 different types of poke, all made to order, fast, fresh, and healthy. And what's your favorite, Khalil?
The chicken fingers.
Located at 120 Union Street in downtown Santa Cruz. Call us for takeout at 831-426-PONO or check us out on the web at ponohawaiiangrill.com. We put the ono in Pono. Yee-hoo.
Hi, this is Steve Pereira, the beach guy at Bailey Properties in Santa Cruz, California. My wife Diane and I are experienced realtors who know and live at the beach, and we've been bringing the coast home to you since 1982. We'd love to help you sell or buy your slice of paradise here on the Santa Cruz coast. Please give the beach guy a call at 831-818-7064 or give Mrs. Beach Guy a call at 831-818-5939. Also, please drop into our website at lifesabeach.com and check out our available coastal properties. Remember, no one knows the turf. Near the surf, better. Cowabunga.
What the heck is the Food Lounge?
We're a dynamic, community-minded event venue in downtown Santa Cruz, focused on local food, art, and entertainment. The Food Lounge profiles rotating pop-ups, flash dinners, guest chefs, classes, a monthly artisan food market, and more special events regularly. Featuring only Santa Cruz breweries and ciders, a local winery of the month, and artisan spirits at our full bar. Available for your private or corporate special events. Hey Neil, tell them what's happening this week at the Food Lounge.
Here we go. This week at the Food Lounge, happy hour with special drink prices, TC from 5 to 7, kicking chicken, surfing up food for the night, comedy show starting at 8. I might do the comedy show. The open mic tour, 4 budding New York comics on the road performing everywhere they can. Come on down, be part of the show at the Food Lounge this Friday night. I also want to thank Steve Pereira and Diane Pereira for advertising on the show. That's their wedding anniversary last week. They've been married forever. They're great sponsors of the show. And I also want to thank Timmy from Pono. Shaka Brada. We love our Timmy. We'll be right back. Oh, we are back.
That was right back.
We're right back. Here tonight with Mr. Michel Junod from Junod Surfboards. If you want to get yourself one of the finest surfboards you can find, all you have to do is call.
You can call me at 831-427-0712.
Or the website is...
Surfboards by Michel Junod.
Let me just check that. It is. It's, no.
You could Google that.
No, it's MichelJunodSurfboards.com.
It's both.
Is it?
Yeah, it'll respond to either one of those.
And you also have a very good website, by the way.
Well, thank you.
It's a wonderful website. Check it out. It's got actually has the history of Mr. Michel, where I got a lot of information from tonight. I didn't cheat, nor did I guess. I just stole it off his website.
I got a question for you, Michel.
Yep.
Do you consider yourself a perfectionist?
Yes.
Because when I worked at Westcliff Surfboards, Chuck Vinson was there.
Yeah.
Steve Coletta was there.
Coletta was there?
Shapers.
Michelle was there.
Right.
And my friend Chuck Stralick, who I call Captain Bly, he owned the place. He would come in and look over every square inch of any of Michelle's boards to make sure there was not a scratch after I polished it, because he didn't want to hear Michelle yell at him about my work. I've polished 3,000 surfboards in my life. I've never heard that before, but I mean that's the quality of the surfboards that you want to manufacture, I assume.
Well, thank you. You know, Mike Wash once told me we're not making watches, but we're doing stuff pretty close. In other words, they don't have to run perfectly, but I think the whole thing of craftsmanship, and that's what Tinker taught me. He says, you know, we're not making airplane wings or airplane propellers, means we're not making twisted, crooked boards. We're making boards that not only surf good, but look good. And I always say if a board looks good and, you know, you can see kind of the curves all fitting together, it's probably going to be a good surfboard. But the perfectionist thing has just been something I've always done as a kid. You know, I built model cars. I did all kinds of, I drew pictures of maps. I was into drawing maps, and I would just copy everything perfectly. It just, something in me.
Do you still have the same amount of passion today as you did back 50, you know, when you first started, or not?
As far as shaping goes?
Yeah, as far as shaping and surfing. I think everyone does.
I think I do. I don't have as much energy as I used to have.
Right.
I'll be 67 in December, so
Right.
I don't have as much energy, but I still have a desire to surf and a desire to, you know, shape and to have people be blessed and happy by a board that I make for them.
You know, you've surfed, obviously, we talked about tonight, in uncrowded areas. I surfed with you the other day at 38. There was a lot of people out there. Do you get despondent because of that?
No, I don't. I mean, it's reality. What are you going to do? You know, Santa Cruz has great waves. A lot of people have done this. They've moved into the bay or up the coast. They won't surf in town anymore. It's too crowded.
Right.
I don't have time to do that. Plus, the waves are so much better in town than they usually are outside of town.
Right.
In general. So I just surf in town and, you know, and deal
Have
with
fun.
the crowds. Yeah, have fun.
On the phone right now, we have Kurt. Kurt, you there?
Hey, this is Kurt, and it's good to hear Biggs there, too.
Kurt!
Hey, man. So I got a Michelle story, but also I just got a work from Michelle this week, and it is fantastic. And I feel like, number one, it's a great board. It's beautiful. It just feels good to be on it, and there's so much soul in that board, it just emanates. So I'm very happy with it.
You got a new
So
6.8 quad fish.
Nice.
Are you stoked?
I love it.
Okay.
Oh, dude, I'm totally stoked. So, but anyway, I have a story. So the first time, this is back in '80, I forget when. But anyway, I went over there to Kauai, and before I got married, I was staying with Michelle and Jody. And I remember the creature brought me surfing, and we went out to Crack 14, and I had this little 6'4", and we go out there, and it's like a left reef break, and it was like double overhead to triple overhead, and I'm thinking, like, I can't surf this, you know? And so I'm just like, okay, and creature's like, come on out in the water, and I go, dude, I got a hangnail. I can't make it out in the water. But anyway, I remember that afternoon going back to Michelle, and I'm like, oh, dude, you know, it was just too big, and Michelle's looking at me like I got a third eye, like, what are you talking about? And I'm just like, and then when we go back to his house, he pulls out this Surfer magazine, and he opens it up, and it looks like this guy is surfing a left at Waimea Bay. It's like a 25 to 30-foot face.
It wasn't that big, but it's pretty big.
Dude, it was huge. And you told me you broke your rib. And you go, yeah, this is Crack 14, you know, like it was closing out in the cove or whatever. And I'm just like, this guy has no fear of big waves.
That's
and
cool.
Then a week later, we're surfing Majors Bay, and it's almost double overhead where I'm surfing. And he's out there at Teeny Teenies where it's like 3 to 4 times overhead. And he's like, come on, Kurt. And I'm like, I am wetting myself here. There's no way I'm paddling out there. But
we couldn't find waves small enough for you to ride, and I'm just kidding.
No, but dude, you're an epic surfer. You're a legend, and every time I'm out in the water, you always get waves. It's like the crowd recedes as Michelle's taking off.
Thanks,
so,
Kurt, for calling, buddy. We appreciate it.
Thanks, bud.
Yeah.
Appreciate the story.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Dinger.
And for Peter, who's hanging on there, if you want to call back, Peter, we will take your call. And in the meantime, you went back to North Shore, correct?
Well, I lived on the North Shore from 74 through 78.
Right.
Yeah, so I left here in 74. I think it was the late summer, fall of 74, and lived there until 78 when I moved to Kauai.
Right. How did that era affect your board shaping at that time?
It affected a lot. It was interesting. I built 3 or 4 boards and brought them over with me.
Yep.
And the only one that worked was like a 6'8".
Okay.
And all the guns and stuff I made didn't work.
Right.
And so I immediately, kind of went to work and looked around what was happening, what was going on. And I learned so much surfing in Hawaii for those 4 years on the North Shore, and working with some of the best shapers in the world. Not really working with them, but observing what they were building. And it was a great time.
Well, was it more curve in the boards then? What was going on? Because it seemed like during that time they went from really long, skinny tails to more curve, and like different stuff was happening.
Yeah, what was happening in that time is, the early 70s had the real straight, narrow tails, wider noses. We didn't know much about rocker yet, so we were figuring out the rocker thing, I think, a lot on the North Shore, because you have steep waves and you don't need a flat board. You need a board with some curve in it. And so that was one of the things, changing the templates around. But the boards were still single fins.
Good. TC, I'm going to take Peter's call because Pete's been hanging on. Peter, are you there?
Yeah, hey, guys.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, 3 quick questions for comments.
Okay.
What was the discussion about sharks back in the day? And what do you think about the state of surfing today, the big airs, rotations? And the last question, toe-in, especially Teapu. And I'll take my comments off the air. It's great shows, guys.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it, Peter. Sharks.
The surf spot or the animals in the water?
I think he's talking about the surf spot.
If
I'm wrong, correct me, Peter.
Yeah, no, it's a great wave. I like surfing there. People who surf there know the quality of the wave, and yeah, it's fun.
Chopu?
Never surfed there, never want to.
And what was the last point? What was the last question you had?
Something about toe-ins.
It was about the aerial surfing and rotations and stuff, and above the lip.
Yeah, that was one thing I want to talk a little bit about today. The quality of the surfing and just the expansion of what people are doing is so much more incredible than when I grew up as a kid. I mean, it is unbelievable. And you can imagine, the guys from the 40s and 50s who saw us surf in the 60s and 70s. It's just, but it's gone crazy, and I think it's fantastic. I mean, that Volcom movie that came out, and saw you down there at the Rio Theater, Psychotic Migrations, I think it was called.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Unbelievable surfing. Yeah. Unbelievable. I just,
But is it taking a lot from longboarding? Taking a lot away from longboarding? You don't.
No, I think they're two different things.
Okay.
I mean, it's almost like when a golfer hits a wood and drives a ball 300 yards, however far they hit those things,
right?
And then you're doing putting. They're different kinds of things in the same sport.
Okay.
And all sports have that. They have different positions that people play and different things happen. Longboarding's different than shortboarding, and I still shortboard, but I can't surf like the kids.
Right. This portion of the show is brought to you by the new Boots Burrito, right, Fig?
That's right.
You got the new Boots Burrito at the Surf City Sandwich Shop?
Boots Breakfast Burrito.
You're open for breakfast starting when?
November 1st.
Okay, get on down there to the Surf City Sandwich Shop, open for breakfast November 1st.
Can we talk about breakfast a little bit? I want to find out what's going to be on the menu. What do we got going on?
Well, besides the Boots Breakfast Burrito, we're going to have the egg on the run, fried egg sandwich, choice of cheese, choice of protein. We're going to have a breakfast panino, which is a Italian style pressed sandwich with eggs. We're going to have Belgian waffles, Belgian chicken and waffles. We're going to have fresh
this is a
baked.
New restaurant.
I created this one. My sister and I created this Aloha style pastry that's called the Moana muffin. It's going to be Danish with butter, cinnamon, sugar, toasted coconut, and coconut cream cheese. And we just started serving Verve coffee today.
Wow.
Get yourself down to the Surf City Sandwich Shop. Just go to the other end of 41st Avenue. You'll run right into it.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Can I say one thing about Michel? I've been surfing his boards for over 20 years.
Yep.
Every board he's ever shaped for me has helped improve my surfing immensely. They're just amazing boards.
Something has to, for crying out loud.
Shut up.
Hey, what time do you open up? What time are you going to open up?
We're going to be open from 7 a.m. to 11 for breakfast, Monday through Saturday. And then on Sunday, we'll be serving breakfast all day.
This portion of the show is also brought to you by Slider Town Gear, which you can find Slider Town Gear at the Santa Cruz Boardroom, TC Shop.
Saw Kevin today.
You saw how's Kevin doing?
He's doing great. I gave him a big check.
Ooh.
Yeah,
he was
all smiles today.
Loving the big check. You get his stuff at the Santa Cruz Apparel Shop at the mall.
You got it.
Your store. You can get it downtown at Pack Wave. The colorful, wonderful sweatshirts, T-shirts of Slider Town. Go get yourself some. Christmas is coming up. I was in some shop. I saw
can't
Christmas
believe it's
commercial
already.
Are you kidding me? Neil and TC with Michel Junod on the Off the Radio Show. Be right back after this very short break. Don't go away.
Attention surfers and paddleboarders. Don't let cold water or cold air take you out of the water for 5 to 6 weeks. Protect your ear canals with custom-made earplugs. The Listening Stack in Capitola is now offering custom earplugs molded to fit your ears perfectly, comfortably protecting your ear canals from the harsh elements of the Pacific Ocean. Stop messing with the universal earplugs that don't work and try something that does. Mention Off the Lip Radio and receive an extra $20 off any custom molded earplugs in our store. The Listening Stack is located at the corner of Capitola Avenue at 41st. Listening Stack. Protect, enhance, enjoy. 831-498-9890.
Hi, this is Jeff Warnerhalder from North Bay Ford, proud to sponsor the Off the Lip Radio Show. We're here to support the local surf community with a full inventory of trucks, hybrids, and plug-in hybrids. Come see why the F-150 has been the best-selling vehicle for 39 years. We have the perfect surf vehicle in stock, the new 2015 Ford Transit van. We have a model that will fit your needs. Come to the no-hassle, easy place to buy a car, no stress, no drama. We make it easy for everybody. We're locally owned, locally operated. North Bay Ford at 1999 SoCal Avenue or www.northbayford.com.
Chill Out Cafe on 41st Avenue, Santa Cruz is not just a block from some of the world's best surf, but it is also where you can go relax and order the tastiest grub before and after your sesh. Plump burritos, fresh salads, sky-high sandwiches, and a superb selection of hot and cold drinks. They have something for you. Go to chilloutcafesantacruz.com to view their menu, and to place your order to go, call 831-477-0543. Chill Out Cafe, where they roll the fatties.
And we are back with the Off the Lip Radio Show. broadcasting from Santa Cruz, California, right here at Pleasure Point. Woo! Here tonight, our guest is the one and only Mr. Michel Junod. I'm here with my good friend and co-host, Mr. Terry Campion. And in the last 10 minutes of the show, I want to talk to Michel about you and Sunset Beach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my favorite wave in the whole world.
Even more than anything around here.
Yeah.
Why is that?
It's bigger and faster and hollower, and it's warm. No, it's an incredible wave. If you've ridden Sunset Beach, it has to be in your top 5. I mean, it's just that kind of a wave.
What is your top 5?
Oh, I can't do that right now. I mean,
but in regards to Sunset Beach, has the media forgotten about Sunset Beach?
Well, it's not as photogenic. It's hard to shoot. It's out in the ocean. The guys who take water shots take it on the head. I mean, it
has sections and stuff.
Yeah, it has sections, and it's a big playing field. It's like Scotts Creek. It's a big playing field where pipeline's right there, and the cameras are there, and the people are there, so that's the whole thing. But no, it's an incredible wave. And what I used to do on the North Shores, wherever usually the cameras would set up, I'd go somewhere else.
Why?
Because it was crowded.
Right.
So I'd go and Sunset had its own crew, and I lived for 2 years at Sunset, 1 year at Pipeline, and 1 year at Rocky Point. And so you kind of surf where you live too, but it's such a short area to get around in. But I like surfing Sunset Beach because it's a long wave. It has hollow sections. You can surf it really hard. It's a fantastic wave. And I think, to answer your question, TC, it's just the fact that it's not as easily photographed, and it's not sexy, I guess. It
was sure sexy in the late 70s.
Yeah.
Because I remember Reno and everybody, speed tucks, they'd go so fast they have to make their knees touch.
Right.
Like that was the stance out there because you were pulling G-forces and stuff.
Right.
And it just seems like we've lost a little bit of Sunset Beach, and so that's my thought.
Yeah, and they still hold contests there, but then right after that, it seems to be out of the picture.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Again, I don't live there anymore. But no, that was some of the best surfing and surfing times I had living on the North Shore. And again, learning how to shape performance boards, big wave boards, all that stuff much better than I did when I was living in California.
We were going to ask him today, and hopefully it's not too late.
No.
You and I were talking about Costco boards.
Yeah.
And how, how has that affected shapers?
Well, believe it or not, I like Costco boards. I like the Wave Runners, maybe for a reason that you don't understand or doesn't understand, is it's a great entry-level board. Parents will come to me and say, I want to make a board for my 8-year-old son. And I said, has he surfed yet? No. And I said, well, you know what? Just save your money, go spend $100, get him a surfboard, and if he likes it and he's into it, then come back and see me.
Right.
I don't think it's fair for me to make a board for some kid that costs $800-900 and then he's not into it.
Yeah.
And so I think it's a great entry-level thing. I really do. It's kind of crazy how many people ride it for the regular board now.
Oh, yeah, that's what we were talking about, too.
They do. Jamie O'Brien started riding them at Pipe and everywhere else, and so in that sense, it's probably a little hard on business. But overall, I want people to have fun. The bottom line of how I got into surfing wasn't to make money. It was to have fun. It was in shaping, to have fun so I could shape when the waves are bad and surf when the waves are good.
So you get in your big white van in the morning.
Yep.
Go to work.
Mm-hmm.
Still having fun?
Yeah.
Having fun.
Yeah.
Still enjoying it.
Still enjoying it, still shaping every day, trying to surf when the waves are good and the tides are right. This week has been terrible for the tides, but
right, it's all high tide.
Yeah, and I don't surf in the morning usually. So no, it's been great. I'm still loving living in Santa Cruz and building boards here.
So once again, we can contact you. Somebody wants a board, interested in a board, or talking to you about a board.
Yep.
They can have a personal consultation with you.
Yep.
If they call
831-427-0712.
Or they can go to Michel Junod, Junod, surfboards.com. Go check out the wonderful website. Great photos on that website.
Are you a shaper that invites a customer in the shaping room?
I do on occasion. Usually I don't have enough time to do it with every single guy. Once in a while somebody will request it. But I've got other stuff going on, and so they'll come in for a consultation. We'll talk all about the board and the glassing and the colors and all that stuff, and I just go to work.
Because that, to me, that's like the custom board, having that shaper relationship.
The custom board thing is cool. I enjoy doing it.
Before we go, I got for my friend Jim Lucas, I got to mention the double surf team.
I was on it.
Okay, tell us a little bit about that, because he Facebooked me today. He goes, Neil, you got to talk about the double surf team.
Okay, it was great. Greg Knoll started this clothing company back in the early 90s. And a bunch of the guys in town, mostly East Side guys, got on this team. I remember we all drove up there to Crescent City, probably 92, on a surf trip to visit Greg. And man, it was one day I didn't go out. There was snow on the mountains right at the border there, and it was offshore. And it was like 35 degrees, and these guys went out surfing. I said, I can surf when I get back home.
Yeah.
I did surf a couple other times, but I didn't surf that morning. It was so freezing. Made Moss Landing look like Hawaii. But we had a great time up there. He showed us his whole shop. He lives by the Smith River, a beautiful place up there in the big redwoods.
Yeah.
And the whole thing with Greg was cool. He used to come down at the Surferama contest, and he would sponsor it and hang out, and everybody would just have a great time.
Very cool.
He holds court everywhere he goes.
Who?
He does.
The bull.
Yeah.
You see him at the trade shows.
Yeah,
Remember during the ASR days? He'd stand around and hold court. It was amazing.
Michel, I want to thank you for coming on the show.
Thank
We're
you very much.
We're going to have you come back, talk
I'll be
about
back.
the other 2/3 of your life.
Round 2.
I want to thank Fig for coming on the show. November 1st.
November 1st.
Go fresh or go home.
Go fresh or go home.
I'm going in for the Ala Moana.
I'm going to get the French dip. Michel, thank you once again for
welcome.
coming on the
Thank
show.
you, guys.
Really loved having you on the show. This portion of the show has been brought to you by Star Bene, TC. Where do we go after?
We always
the show?
go to Star Bene.
Star Bene, you get the fresh Italian food. You get the Peroni, you get the Italian beer.
I get the chicken piccata. It's not even on the menu. You got to ask for it. Say TC sent you. You'll love it.
The chicken piccata?
It's not on the menu. I get it special every night.
You know what? I'm going to go for the chicken piccata tonight.
Get it.
Star Benny, right down there. Right down the spritz, up half a mile away from KSCO.
Right at the beach.
Great food, but almost as good as Surf City Sandwich.
They're not open for lunch or breakfast.
That's
so.
very true. Again, thanks, Michel, for coming on the show. I want to thank Chris, my engineer tonight. Wonderful, just great job. Told me to back up from the microphone so people wouldn't be blasted by my loud voice. I want to thank Chad, who does the live stream for us every week. I want to thank the sponsors who sponsor the Off the Radio Show. And above all, I want to thank the audience here locally, statewide, nationwide, and worldwide who listens to the Off the Radio Show. You can find the show tomorrow on offtheradio.com. That's the podcast. Right after the show ends, you can check it out on YouTube. We are also on iTunes and TuneIn Radio.
We're everywhere.
Everywhere. This has been the Off the Radio Show. I want to thank everyone who's listening tonight. Thank you very much. We'll see you next week with Sambada. Great musical band is going to be on the show next week.
We're rocking
Followed
out.
by Juan Rodriguez is going to be on the show. Famous East Coast shaper. We got some great shows coming
We
up.
sure
TC.
do. Yeah, I love it.
Look forward to seeing you next week.
Yep,
with
we'll be here.
Sambada.
You got
Good
it.
night.